is Olympic coverage, how to be able to watch these games.
I don't know.
Okay, this is not a paid advertisement. YouTube TV, baby. They have the multi-channel view. They've got the library.
They do.
You can.
And
Oh, it's a beautiful thing.
Paris is only 6 hours ahead of us. So depending on when they schedule the events, like there were some events, I can remember Olympics in countries that are like 12 hours. Like I got to get up at 3 a.m. to watch stuff that's happening at 3 p.m. Paris is only 6 hours ahead. So I'm sure there will be all kinds of stuff coming out here real quick. How to watch on TV. It's about that time.
I'm really excited about it. Really excited about it. Love the Olympics.
Yeah. Love
we
that.
We need to have a watch party for the opening ceremonies because back in 2008, it was later. It was it was during, it might be this year too. It was during Pro Football Hall of Fame week. And I was at a house that we had rented, a B&B or an Airbnb that we had rented down in Canton. There were 12 or 14 of us women. Archer football had, we had like 30 writers back then. Now we just had the 4 of us. And we all sat in a room and watched the opening ceremonies, you know, where they have the parade with the people from all the teams. Girl, it was hilarious. You'd have thought you were at a comedy show. The things, the comments, I love the countries with 2 people. Like we were having a blast. The 3 of us need to do a opening ceremonies watch party somewhere. We'll have it at like a B-Dubs or something, and we'll invite people to come hang out with us and watch the opening ceremonies.
When is the opening ceremony again?
I'm Googling it.
Isn't it Friday?
Because
starts Friday.
What time? In the afternoon, early afternoon. That works for me.
The opening ceremony is Friday. NBC will be showing it. So
CEST
coverage. Telemundo will provide Spanish language coverage beginning at 1 p.m.
Telemundo.
Primetime coverage will start at 7:30.
Dang. And the U.S. is one of the last countries. Congratulations to LeBron James as being selected as one of the flag bearers for the country. So that is awesome because we're going to talk about this Olympic team too. Talk a little bit of WNBA and want to get to some Browns too. So we're going to go ahead and take another break. You've been listening to Her in the Huddle on WOVU 95.9 FM. We'll be right back.
Is it okay?
Huh?
Is it okay?
Yeah. All right, welcome back to Her in the Huddle on WOVU 95.9 FM. I'm here with Sapphire and Cleveland Kate, and we were just discussing, what were we just talking about?
The Olympics.
Oh, the Olympics. Thank you.
I'm sitting like, let's jump into some other sports.
No,
wait,
I'm
did
here,
y'all ever watch Sex in the City?
No,
Oh, yeah,
I never did.
It's my favorite Joe Biden thing. I don't know if you can see it. It says Joe Biden's note to the country was so powerful, and then it's a picture of a Post-it note that says, "I'm sorry, I can't. Don't hate me." It's from an episode of Sex in the City where Carrie's boyfriend broke up with her on a Post-it note.
Yeah,
I was like, it's a very serious matter, but I thought that was my favorite of all the memes I saw after he said he wasn't going to run again, and I thought it brought a little humor to a very serious situation in a way that didn't demean anybody. All right, we can talk what? Guardians, we can talk about how upset and underwhelmed I was with Jose's performance in the home run derby. I expected more.
I didn't get a chance to watch it, but
I hated the uniforms.
Yeah, I hated uniforms too. And
I want the AL to wear their home jerseys and the NL to wear their white away jerseys, or vice versa. I don't care. But whatever that pastel Pez stuff was, not a fan.
Yeah,
it was pretty loud. And I just started thinking maybe I just hit that old age level because I couldn't get it. I didn't understand that whole thing. So
there were a lot of people on social media didn't like it either. They wanted it the whole way. Wear your home jersey, just one team in their whites and the other team in their darks. It'd be fine.
Yeah, they were very loud and they were very wrong. So I wasn't a fan of them either. I didn't get a chance to watch Jose and the All-Star the home run derby. Didn't he come in second place though?
No.
Okay.
So in previous years they had them go in pairs, and then the best one in the pairs advanced. This year they just had everyone go, and then the top 4 advanced. Okay. And then it was 2 and 2. And Jose got beat, and then the other guy, so he ended up maybe 3rd, maybe 4th. If you look at, like, he had 12, and the other guy had like 20. I was very, I don't know what was wrong. I wanted a little more from my Jose. And at the end of the day, it don't matter. Yeah, he hits in the game, which is when it counts.
Right.
But and I guess the Guardians were represented because half the guys on the team were from Cleveland. So they're like 5
All-Stars.
You know, I just wanted him to do a little better in the home run derby.
Yeah, like you said, as long as he hits in the games, that's the most important thing. But that's not the first time he stunk it up in the home run derby. So,
I tell you, for me, I was so blown away by, am I butchering his name? Skinnis, the Pirates pitcher. Like, first of all, he's a baby at 22, but the way he throws that ball, the command that he has, the velocity that he has, like, I'm looking at the Pittsburgh Pirates for the rest of the season as well. I mean, what, 6'6", Kate? He's like a giant out there, and just brilliant as well. They were talking about he was looking at the military and to be a pilot, and then this just came back to him. I think he's going to be one of the most exciting stories in MLB for some time.
I know, but he looks kind of like a 70s movie star.
Yeah.
Got that dash. I don't want to call it what I normally would. I'm trying to be a lady on the radio. You got that Gardner Minshew mustache. I'm not a fan.
Yeah, Sapphire, I don't know what the Pirates going to do because they're in 3rd place in the National League Central. So,
give them time. They'll come back. I'm very worried about we beat the Padres 7-0, then we lose 0-7, and then we lose 1-2, and now I got 4 games with Detroit, and I need 3 wins out of the series with Detroit if we're going to keep pace with the Orioles, and that's really who we got to worry about right now. You know what I'm saying?
Because Detroit took 3 out of 4 against us when we played in Detroit. So Detroit is one of the worst teams in all of baseball, but they managed to they're 49-51. So
I mean, they're not the White Sox bad, they still think they're in it, which is why you need the moral victory. You need to pound 4-0, sweep, teach them, remind them, tell them they're not still in it. They're not still in it.
Yeah.
Send the Motor City Kitties home crying. They're not still in it.
Because this series was a tune-up for the big series that they have against Philly. So,
and we're home, right? Like Thursday's a day game. I don't feel like we've had that many day games. Thursday's like a 1 o'clock game.
Yep, we're at home this series. And then we go on the road against Philly. So trade deadline is coming up soon. So the Guardians will definitely have to make pitching moves. Like we said last week, we don't know who yet, but they often get very creative. So I think that, they will find some impact players.
It's the same thing every year. This is what's frustrating for me as a Guardians fan. It's just the same thing every year, right? So it's like we're stuck in this box with the ceiling. And the ceiling never goes away, right? And then they get us all ginned up. They start off the first half of the season like blazing, and then here we go. And now we're looking at the backside of the season. It's just very frustrating for me to watch this again.
Yeah, well, your rotation is Tanner Bybee, Gavin Williams, Ben Lively, Carlos Carrasco, and Xavier Curry is supposed to be back pitching again. Nobody's going to take Carlos. So, but, we got some good young prospects and stuff like that they could pick up. But they definitely have to do something and get an additional bat here as well, too. But they have to do something when it comes to pitching. If this team wants to contend and get to the World Series, they're going to have to do something about pitching.
Absolutely.
So, also Travis Banzana is down in AAA. So on Friday, he took some batting practice with the team. So he's down in AAA right now. So he could be up soon. He could be up this season.
It's going to be interesting to see what moves they make. And speaking of moves, those Cleveland Cavaliers.
Oh, yeah, let's get to it. So Evan Mobley, the 7-footer, signed a rookie maximum extension, and it's a 5-year, $224 million extension, but it could be for $269 million. So they're committed to Evan for the long term. And how do you ladies feel about this? Because I feel like it's a good thing. Kenny Atkinson is, here, and he spoke about development. And I think he was one of the reasons he was brought in was to help develop Evan Mobley. So I think that was one of the reasons why he was hired, because of this young talent that we have. But, obviously, he's going to have to work on his footwork, and he's going to have to work on his shooting, because you're paying a lot of money for him now. So he needs to deliver results, and that is through shooting. He's already a great defensive player, He came in like 3rd place for I forgot what it was. But he's one of the best defenders in all of the league. So it's time for him to put it together. And, he's part of this core 4 when it comes to the front office and what they feel the players that can help them make it to the finals. So, they signed him and locked him up, and now it's time to go.
I'll let Kate go first.
I saw some quotes from Atkinson, from our new head coach, Kenny Atkinson, who considers Mobley to be a future All-Star and one of the keys to this team getting a championship, which makes me wonder if, again, how big of a part he played in getting Spida, Donovan Mitchell, to re-sign. If he's telling the front office, Mitchell and Mobley are his keys, his pillars, the thing upon which we will build a championship roster, then that means he has to accept responsibility for developing Mobley. Mobley has done a lot of work on his own, but I don't have a good feel for where his ceiling is. And hopefully Atkinson does. And by offering him this much money, the pressure to me is now it's no longer on Mobley. It is now on Atkinson to turn Mobley into what he thinks he can be.
And right there, Kate always brings it. She always brings it. Because for me, it's always been, I think you shared before the beginning of last season, that Mobley was talking about working on his 3-point game and was unabashed about saying that. So when I think about transitioning through Bickerstaff to Atkinson, my question becomes just what Kate said. And most importantly for me as a fan, is this what's in Mobley's mind? Is he going to be open to being developed so he can potentially become a future All-Star? Everything that Kate said is right. Atkinson has pretty much put his initials, his name on Mobley. But how is Mr. Mobley going to respond to it? Right? Those are my questions.
I think in this situation, we have a better chance of responding well to it, because I feel like there's a difference between if you listen to coaching and you improve this, and this in your game, then we'll pay you, right? Because you can't believe a team when they tell you that. You got to look out for number one. You don't know if they're ever going to pay you. There's a difference between that and we believe so much in you and your ability and Atkinson's ability to coach you up that we're going to go ahead and pay you first. And Mobley better pay attention because he's getting paid. I think from a mindset perspective, it's not a carrot you're dangling in front of him. The Cavaliers have put their money where their mouth is, and now Mobley needs to perform.
Yeah. And if I can recall, the what they've given to him in contract really is right in line with his peers. So yes. I don't have any issue with the number of years and the money and the potential to max it out. My focus again is on, is he going to come in? Is he doing the things right now that he needs to be doing? And is he going to come in with a more aggressive, assertive on-court mindset than what I've seen in the last few years?
I think there's also, I don't know. I don't have a 5-year deal with my company offering me multi-million-dollar generational money. I work for a company in the state of Ohio, which is an at-will state. They could email me tonight and tell me I'm fired. There has to be something else that helps your mindset when you know they're going to pay you over $200 million and you're locked in for this many years. Like a security to that and a willingness to do whatever you can for your boss because they're going to take care of you. And whatever insecurities you have, hopefully will fly out the window. And that's what Atkinson's can do. And you got to, I have to believe the coach lobbied for him, right? So that's got to also play into his mindset. The coach believes I can do this. The coach encouraged them to pay me. I can do this. There's got to be some confidence building in all of that.
Yeah, he believes in Evan.
Well, I'm hoping that he believes in him on the offensive side. We know he's a definite standout defensively. No issues there. But if I see that butt scooch thing in the low paint again next season, you guys are going to have to check me into a sanatorium, okay? Turn to the basket, be aggressive, go to the hole.
Yeah, footwork. No traveling violations, square up and, be able to beat your man. That's one of the things. It's like my nephew does that as well. He gets some traveling calls. He's only 9 though. But, watching him do the same thing, I'm like, is that what they teaching? Because he is one of the tallest, kids on the team. And I'm like, what is this about this footwork and this move that, I'm like, I see the same thing out of Evan and I see my nephew do it. So I'm like, you can't get the traveling. You got to be able to bounce the ball. And also, his ball handling skills could use some work too. So, he's a project and, there's lots of improvement opportunities with him.
Absolutely.
But Atkinson, in his introductory press conference, said one of his goals was to make Mobley a more complete player and make him an offensive threat. So he knows what he's getting into. He knows what's going on. His numbers weren't bad in the playoffs. They're actually a little bit better than his regular season numbers, but they could both use some improvement. That footwork, girl, which is why, again, he's coachable. If we can see what he's doing wrong with his feet, then clearly Atkinson knows exactly what he needs to do to get that kid fixed.
Do you think he could have picked up some pointers this weekend in Phoenix watching the women play in that All-Star game?
I would hope so.
That was incredible. Sold
Yeah.
out arena, like that was just. And these women can ball. Okay, they can ball. You want to jump in on that?
Yeah, we're going to go to break right quick, though. So when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit of WNBA. And did the WNBA, did the people who, pick the Olympic team get it wrong? So we're going to be right back. You're listening to Her in the Huddle on WOVU at 95.9 FM. We'll be right back.
Can you play that clip through your laptop?
Huh?
Can you play that one clip, the MVP clip through your laptop?
Enrique? Okay.
Just that one. If you don't want to go with the other ones, that's fine. We can just talk about it.
Okay.
To come back in with it before you say anything, boom, and then hit it, that would be awesome.
Okay.
And I hope Evan puts on at least 5-7 pounds. I'm rolling out of here with you right away. I don't want to get stuck.
Well, I got to email you the stuff too, so stay for that.
Who are they playing tonight?
Huh?
Who are they playing tonight?
Detroit? They started playing on already. Started at 6:40. It's not be late.
So early.
They've been at 6:40. The only games that's been at 7:10 is the weekend games. I don't know what they did with the schedule and why, but they don't start at 6:10 no more. They started half an hour earlier.
7:10, you mean, right? Okay.
I mean, didn't Angel get another double-double in the All-Star game? She's crazy good. I'm trying to find the stats. Yep, Angel had a double-double in the All-Star game.
All right, welcome back to Her in the Huddle on WOVU at 95.9 FM. You just heard a little bit of Enrique Ogunbowale.
Yes.
Talking about the All-Star game.
You know what? For me, watching that, again, all of these points in the second half reminded me of watching Steph Curry. When he just gets in the zone, he cannot miss from any place on the court. I mean, it was incredible to see it. In addition to her handles, I mean, she was shaking and baking and creating space to make those shots. Like it was eerie. It was like you could totally see these women, her, Reese, they've taken the game up to the next level. Like they can really ball. What did you think?
Yeah, she had 34 points, so she was out there doing the thing, and that leads me to wonder and ask you guys, like, hey, did they pick the right people to be on this Olympic squad? Should they have offered the at the time they were students in NCAA, where they had a separate tryout for them after the NCAA tournament was over, because your All-Stars are beating your Olympic team. There's a lot of controversy about Caitlin Clark being left off the team, but she wasn't even able to try out because of the NCAA tournament. So it's just like Team USA ain't supposed to get beat by the WNBA All-Stars, but they did. So I'm like, was the wrong people picked. So
well, I mean, for me, Ogunbowale, I mean, with a name like that, come on, she needs to have her own shoe line, her cosmetics line, whatever all that is. That's a powerful name. I mean, I don't know why she didn't get looked at right? She's not a rookie. So there's that question. It was almost like they not played with a chip on their shoulder, but kind of came in with this mindset of, okay, let's leave it out here on the court and see which woman leaves the winner. It was just incredible. Mm-hmm.
I think there was a little of that, but I'm going to be the cynical side of things. I think it was more that the Team USA girls know they're not getting a break. They got to go play and hustle. So the WNBA girls could put more energy into it and wanted it more because they now get to sit home for a week and take a break.
Oh, they're going to be home.
They were willing to expend more energy. That's my thought.
Yeah, they don't break until August 15th. So they don't break for a long time. But this isn't the first time that, the WNBA All-Stars have knocked off Team USA. So it was done in 2001. Team USA did win a gold medal, but Ogun Bawale was also MVP of the 2021 game after scoring 26 points.
That's right. Makes you wonder about politics, right?
Mm-hmm.
The politics of it all. And the guard play, it was like, of course, there's going to be a passing of the guard, if you will. But, I mean, to me, even Therese, I always get her name mixed up, Taurasi, she didn't really seem like she was there. She didn't, it's just why, and this is a generic question, you want to really expand your brand, why not put the best players on our national team, right? That's my thinking.
Yeah, I think politics played a lot into it because I think Angel Reese should be considered for a national team. I think Caitlin Clark should have been considered. It's time to train younger, and they got to, because isn't Diana Taurasi like 42?
Yeah, she's in her early 40s. I mean, that's no joke, man. You can still be a great baller, but when you're trying to deal with youth and speed and fresher legs and less injuries, like it showed. To me, it showed. That score does not really reflect the butt whooping that the WNBA All-Stars put on our national team. But to Kate's point, it's curious because you are aware that Breanna Stewart and Nafisa Collier have closed the funding for their new Pro W team league, called Unrivaled. And they're going to launch this January, shorter season, January through March, down in Miami. And I think about how much those players are taking on by not only representing their W teams in the league, but Olympics. And now they've created a new brand as well. They are not just showing up to play basketball. They are invested and focused on growing opportunities for professional basketball players. It's really fascinating as I looked at this, and Kate, I'm interested in your thoughts on this. The different investors also include one Kobe Altman, the Cleveland Cavaliers general manager.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. It is very exciting. So,
yeah, it's an interesting kind of league. So from what I remember, it's 3-on-3 basketball.
Yes.
There's they've either got 5 or 7 teams. So it's not competing with the WNBA. It's almost in my mind like you have those flag football leagues that they're not competing with the NFL. It's just a different kind of football or arena league. Although arena football wants to compete. I don't know that they want to compete with the WNBA per se, but I think they want to create an opportunity for 30, 50, maybe 60, 100 women to have another way to play professional basketball and get paid. It could end up serving as a minor league for the WNBA. You don't know who a scout's going to see playing in these 3-on-3 games and be like, oh, she need to come over here. It could be a place curious to develop your skills after college if you don't get drafted.
It's curious that you say that. My understanding is these are straight up going to be the 30 best women's players. 5 teams, Like you said, Miami, January through March. But the whole point that I understood from Stewie was to give professional players the opportunity to stay home during the off season versus put themselves in similar situations that BG wound up in, traveling to another country to play. And then we all know the rest of her story as well. They are going to pay the highest average salaries to these women and give them equity in the league. Like, to me, I think the WNBA has something to be concerned about, right? It's going to be
they're going to play
fascinating
in
to
the off
see
season,
how
right?
this rolls out.
They're going to play in the off
They're
season,
going to play in the
and
off season, yes.
where this is different from a flag football or an arena football is in those kind of scenarios, you can't do both. In this, you can. If you are a WNBA player and you want to play, the teams will have 5 people on them. You'll play 3-on-3s. It's in the off season. You could play both. If you need to make money year round and your WNBA salary isn't enough and you don't want to take that time off, you want to stay in shape, you want to keep playing, you want to enjoy that, this gives you an off-season option of something to do if you're good enough and if they'll take you on a team.
Yeah, to your point, I look at it also from the off-court opportunities, revenue, branding, advertising, merchandise, like, that the players will have equity in the league changes the dynamic, contrasts it from the WNBA. So I don't know. We'll see how it shakes out, but it's very, very exciting. And I really hope that we really give a lot of coverage to this. What I saw Saturday convinced me beyond measure that some of these women could probably hoop it up on the men's basketball court. I mean, definitely G League. I'm sorry, they were balling.
Yeah, that physicality though, I can't even. Well, they physical women too, So, but there's a difference between the men's physicality and a woman's physicality. So the WNBA also is eyeing expanding 44-game season in 2025 as well. So they talk about expansion and they talk about expanding the season, which would be cool, for basketball fans. So,
but
ladies,
how much of that is because they want to enrich the WNBA, and how much of that is they want to squeeze out unrivaled? And if they make the season long enough and add enough teams, maybe the cream of the crop won't go play then. At some point, it's going to be part of the contracts. They're going to have to factor it into the contracts and be like, you can't play in another league. And then they're going to have to pay them what they're worth. Because if they can make more money over there with the equity and the merch, they may go to that league and not go back to the WNBA.
Oh,
yeah. And that's it, people. We appreciate you listening to us. For Cleveland Kate, for Sapphire, for Rachel Hill. You've been listening to Her in the Huddle on WOVU 95.9 FM. And we are out of here.
All right, I gotta go. I'll text y'all. Maybe we'll get together Friday night.
Well, hey, how does Thursday night possibly look? Oh, Friday night is the opening ceremony?
Yeah. So Thursday during the day, I'm driving down to Columbus to go to the Alabama country concert. Thursday night, spending the night, coming home Friday.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, well, let's discuss it.
Joe will be at the Indians game, the Guardians game at 1:00. My sister-in-law has tickets, so she's taken my husband and my brother-in-law and her husband with her, and since I'm gonna be out of town, so he'll be there at the 1:00 day game. So I won't be at that because I will be on my way to Columbus.
Okay. Sapphire wanted to know if you had any interest in the Commanders game. Going to the Commanders game.
When?
October 6th. Look at your eyes.
We haven't played the schedule game yet either. So next Wednesday is my draft. I bought into a season ticket group. So I get 2 tickets to 2 home games. And next Wednesday, everybody, the 8 of us, get to pick which games we want. I am literally out of town for the 2 preseason games. And then I'm out of town for Cowboys.
What?
I know. I'm in Grenada in the Caribbean for Cowboys.
Oh,
I am. I'm home for the Giants, the Commanders. The Commanders is home, right?
No, Commanders is on the road.
Oh. You want us girls to do a road trip? Is that what you're saying?
Well,
I'm down for a road
Eddie was
trip.
invited too, and Jason might come. We able to do it.
I'm down for a road trip. I'd rather do Cincinnati just because or Pittsburgh because they're closer, but I'm down. We can talk about it.
Okay. All right. So possibly getting together Friday?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I will text you when we're on our way back from Columbus and we can see what's at what.
Okay. All right. Talk to you later. Then.
All right. Bye.
All right, bye.
Take care.
Bye. Look at your eyes, and there I see.